if you check the patch notes, you will see that Rockstar has been busy fixing the game behind the scenes. Now, one can say, like, for 7 months that was not a lot of patch notes, but they have been working on the game. Of course, there is a few things that they decided not to put in the patch notes, which was probably because they knew the community wouldn't be too happy about it. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 4 things that I've noticed that they have patched kind of stealthily and kind of sucks. A little disclaimer here, I actually like the update. I know a lot of people just think it's either okay or they just don't like it, but I actually really like it. So these 4 things just make this a little bit bittersweet for me, and I'll explain at the end of the video why I actually like this update. The first thing they patched that I really wish they didn't was the solo lobby method via the poker table. This was a great little method that would let you get into a solo lobby where nobody could join that lobby without getting an invite from you personally. This was the closest thing we've ever had to a solo/crew/private lobby, and allowed me and others to just meet up with their friends and just not have to worry about other people just griefing. And griefing isn't the main reason that I'm actually annoyed about this. The main reason I used to use solo lobbies was for security. When I play on PC, I exclusively only played in solo lobbies. This is because the horrible situation Rockstar has with security on their game. Some little script kid can easily go buy a mod menu, download it, and harass whoever they want. They can get a lot of information on you as well, such as your IP address, which they can just DDoS you and just kick you offline. And once they have your Rockstar ID, which is an ID that's kind of hidden from you, but once they have it, it doesn't matter if you change your name, it doesn't matter if you change lobbies, they can always find you, they can always join you, they can always pull you back to their lobby. Doesn't matter if you shut down the game and restart it. And all they have to do to get your Rockstar ID is just to be in the same lobby as you. Therefore, me and I'm sure a lot of other content creators always play in solo lobbies. And that particular solo lobby allowed no one to be able to join you, so they couldn't even reach you. So needless to say, this is going to have a big impact on streamers and content creators, but it's also going to have an impact on anyone that just like to have a solo lobby and chill out with their friends. Solo lobbies are something that have been in GTA Online since the start, and they should have been in Red Dead Online from the start as well. Ridiculous that Rockstar has not added them, and the fact that they took this away knowing full well the problem that modders cause with the PC community. I mean, they've actively, well, kind of trying to shut down modders, so they know it's a problem. And if they don't have a better solution that they're going to offer us, they shouldn't be taking away solutions that we make ourselves. The next thing they patched, which there was absolutely no reason to do it, was the glitch wooden bridge on Pike Basin. During the 7 months of a content drought, some people found comfort in the fact they could throw things at a bridge and that would send them flying through the air. I'm sure this did not harm anybody else in the lobby, and it didn't really affect the lobby in any way, so there was no reason to prioritize patching this. It was just something people used to have a bit of fun with, and considering DLCs are few and far between, they should have just left something that the community liked in there. I'm sure they contemplated sticking a toll on it that would take a little bit of gold every time you wanted to go flying into the air, but since that didn't work, they just patched it so we couldn't use it. The next thing that they patched that they just didn't mention was the fact that you used to be able to sample and put your legendary animals into crypts. To be honest, I actually thought this might have been clever design by Rockstar, because if you do the Harriet sighting missions, you can either do either or. You can either sample it or skin it, and you'll get roughly about $50 to $60 for whatever you do, if you skin it or sample it. Now, in the wild, you usually get half that. So I thought that was their clever way of like making it balance out. So if you got one in the wild, you get around $50 or $60 if you sedate and sample it. And if you got one in a sighting mission, you get about the same, even though you can only sedate or sample it. Evidently not, because now if you bring one of those to crypts, he is just not going to take it if it's already been sampled. To be honest, I always credit the naturalist role with me actually liking the trader role. I used to find it just boring and tedious, and I just hated doing it, but after the naturalist role, I used to really like when I spot a legendary animal in the wild and I start tracking it down, let me and my posse sedate it, and then a couple of bullets in the head and toss it into crypts. Sadly, that is no more. Which also leads me into the next thing that they patched, which really annoys me also. You can no longer beat crypts up when you're giving him some carcasses. For those of you who didn't see the video that I posted a couple of weeks ago, it was actually possible to come at Cripps at a certain angle when he was at the butcher table. See, to draw boots at him or draw kicks at him, or sometimes you could even get weapons off at him. I can't count the number of hours I got enjoyment out of doing that, and there was no reason to patch that. That brought happiness to many Red Dead Online gamers, and there was no reason to take that away from us. Now I just have to wander around in free roam and hope that someone was kind enough to let their flag down in their camp so Crips can be shot. But it's not the same. So these are the 4 things that I've noticed that Rockstar patched that they really shouldn't have patched. There was no reason to. Some of these things actually helped the community stay safe while playing the game online. Other things just brought a lot of enjoyment during the drought of content that we used to have. I don't understand why these things were a priority. There is still things in the game that are broken that they didn't even address. Hell, they even give us a whole list of new bugs and glitches with the latest update. I think I would have preferred if they'd focused on polishing this update as opposed to trying to patch things that, although were unintentional, turned out to be quality of life improvements for the community. Hopefully we will find a new solo lobby method to help us play this game safely, and hopefully we'll find more things to amuse ourselves during the content droughts. As I said at the start, these things do annoy me, and they do kind of make the update just bittersweet, because I actually kind of like the update. That said, my expectations were definitely in check this time, and I was kind of expecting this kind of an update. I was expecting kind of stranger / telegram missions, and I do think this update actually builds on the structure of the stranger missions already. I mean, I used to really like playing stranger missions, but it used to really annoy me that I had to keep going around a map to play them. I also like the fact that you can play them with a group or on your own, and they have a very similar pay structure to the infamous bounties and the legendary bounties, which up till now were my favorite ways of making gold, and probably the best ways of making gold in Red Dead Online. I also like the blood money opportunity mission that you get when you get a 15 or more capital. It's definitely not like a heist, but it definitely has a little bit more variety than your standard mission. I do wish that they had a higher drop rate for capital, as you might just get 1 to 3 if at all capital in the missions. This can make just grinding missions tedious because you have to go around looting everybody and every box just to see if you can get some capital, and when you're on PC you don't really want to go around looting chests online, because modders love dropping chests around the game for you to open up, get a load of gold bars, and then get your account banned by Rockstar. Thankfully most of these missions are in solo lobbies, and I'm not sure if modders can actually follow you into these particular lobbies. Hopefully not. As a person who likes PvE and likes doing missions in Red Dead Online, it's nice to get some more missions to do. Also, I love the way they paid homage to Robert Johnson. Robert Johnson is like this legendary blues artist who has this really crazy myth around him. The story goes that Robert Johnson, who was a struggling guitarist, met the devil at the crossroads, and he sold his soul to the devil to be able to play like a legendary blues guitarist. So the devil tuned his guitar for him, and ever since he was able to play the best blues in the world. For any other blues fans out there, you might have noticed during the Blackwater contract, when you first meet Blackwater Joe, that you meet him at the crossroads, and when he disappears, all that's left is a snake, which is an animal that's always been linked to Satan and stuff. Makes me wonder, does that snake over near Pleasance, which is just over the road, have anything to do with this also? It's interesting. Anyway, I know this isn't the big update that people really want to pull that community base back, but I think it's okay. I think it's an okay update. For those of you who don't agree with me and don't like the update, I'd really like to hear your thoughts on it and why you don't like it. I'd also like to know what you wish it could have been and where you would like to see Red Dead Online going in the future. As always, I love hearing from you guys, and I really do appreciate the support for this channel. Massive thanks and respect to all the channel members. You guys are awesome. Okay, I'll catch you in the next one.